Hi guys, Ruth here from Beltane Gifts and welcome to the crafting Chez. Now today I'm doing something a little bit different because I, like a lot of people out there at the moment, are having to wear one of these, which is well, in my case a disposable mask. You might be wearing some other sorts of masks, but I found for me, because I'm working in the shop, the mask is having to go on and off all the time, and I have a tendency to put them down and forget where I've put them. So I've been making some of these. Not sure if you can see that. I'll pop it onto the other camera. There we go. I'm basically making a chain that goes just onto the mask, and just use that little clasp there, like with a necklace clasp. Attached it to a piece of plastic covered wire and put some beads on it to make it pretty, and that way I can wear it. And because I'm swapping the masks out, you can just undo the clasps. Let's pop that there, just undo the clasp, put the clasp onto the mask, and that way it's just hanging down there out the way, not touching it. If I want to put on the mask, just grab just the outer bits that go on the ears, pop it on and over the ears like so. So I thought I'd show you guys how to make one of these cords. This also works if you wanted to use it for glasses, because with the little clasp here, that can go onto those little rubber bits that go onto the edges of the arms of the glasses. So you can swap this out later on when you no longer need to wear your mask, and change it into something for holding glasses or sunglasses, which I thought was quite handy. Technique as well is exactly the same if you wanted to make a necklace with these beads or a bracelet, only instead of putting two of the necklace clasps on, you would just do one necklace clasp and one would be just a jump ring for it to go into. So let's get started. So what you're going to need is, put everything into a little bag here, some of the wire. This is the this is the plastic coated wire. So I quite like this stuff because it's very strong. It's very strong. You can't snap this. And also because it's quite fine and it works as its own needle, which you need if you're using small beads. So also in there's, not sure if you can see, there's two little clasps there, and there's also these tiny little things that look like beads. I've used these before in one of my other videos when I was doing the mobile. These are actually called crimps, and they're very fine metal beads which you can crush using pliers, which will hold the ends of your wire. See that? Hold those together. Also, I've got a big bag here, which I'm just wafting around, of beads. So I'm going to pour these out into my tray. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm really lazy and I don't like having to put bead by bead onto my wire. So what I do instead is I just push the wire through, which sometimes works, and catch the beads that way. This one. So yes, also gives you very random beads. So if you're not going for a particular pattern, this is a nice quick and easy way to make sure that your bead selection is totally random. So before we start putting the beads on though, we need to put on one of our ends, and before we do that we need to work out how long we want our piece of wire to be. So for me, I'm going to work out where it's going to hang, and then I'm just going to add a couple of centimetres extra. So I'm just putting it round my neck, pulling it down there, and then once I've decided how long I want it to be, I'm just going to take the scissors and just cut it like so. I'll put the other piece of wire to the side because I can use that for something else later, which just gives me my long piece of wire like so. So what I need to do now is, I'm keeping my crimps separate because I'll lose them in all the beads. I just need one of my crimps to start off with. They're very fiddly. I'm going to put that just to the side, and I need my little clasp there. So pop your bead on first, your crimp, sorry, and you just thread that through. Then you take your clasp goes onto the wire, fold your wire so that you've got yourself a loop, and push the short end back through your crimp. Now these are quite small crimps and I've gone for quite small ones because if you go too big then it's a nightmare trying to squish them. So next we need some pliers. Okay, so we've put those through, we've got our little end there, we've got our crimp here, I'm leaving just a little bit of a gap, and with my pliers I'm just going to squish that crimp. So I've used quite a bit of force, you can see there it's quite flat now. Let's use my phone. And now we're just going to pull on that just to make sure that it doesn't move. There we go, pull both ends, so that's nice and secure now. Okay, so I'm just putting down the pliers. Now this is ready just to start beading, so that what we just did there is exactly what we're going to do at the other end once we've got all our beads on. This is going to take quite a while, so I think I'm just going to start here and then start fast forwarding, and I will see you again once this is done. Now I'm using kind of a rounded motion here, and I'm just hooking upwards to catch these beads, and using reasonably short amount of wire too. I found if you leave it with too long a piece of wire then you don't catch as many beads for some reason, don't know why. Okay, so I'm stopping just here. There's beads everywhere. The floor is going to crunch when I try to walk away, but we've got the beads. I'll just pop it through here so you can see them. Lots and lots of beads. Now before I put the other end on, what we're going to do is just give this little pull, because we want to get the beads over the top of the end of the cord. So just need to move the beads without them falling off the other end, the tricky bit. So just take one bead at a time, just pull it right over the top and just to the end there, just feed them over. Now you might occasionally come across a bead that is too narrow to go over the two bits of wire. If that happens, you can always, with your pliers, just break the bead. It's an option, you don't have to, but you can if you really want to get that piece of wire covered. But no, I think we're going to be okay, she says. There we go. So they're right on there, and those two bits of wire are squished together and hidden, because we don't want that because it will be scratchy otherwise. So I'm just raising up the beads and pushing the remainder down so that they're nice and tight. Now remember, we gave ourselves a couple of centimetres at the end here, so we've still got a bit of give. What we need now is our crimp. So get one of those little crimps, chase it, got it. Now if you wanted to, you could add a few more beads. Might just do that, I'll just pick some up. If you are going to add a few just at the end here, what I'd recommend is just looking for some with a wider hole, just so that you can definitely get it over two thicknesses of the wire. Go. So fiddly. So I'm going for some really larger beads there. Just do a couple more. These tubes, is that going to be wide enough? Yeah. Ooh, a nice pink one as well. Okay, so we've got those there. What we're going to do now is put our crimp on first. Then we're going to get our other, come here, there we go, our other clasp, pop that on, pop it through the crimp, and then feed it down the rest of those. That's the one in the corridor. And push that right down. Now don't worry that there's a bit showing there, because we can snip that with the scissors. Now I'm just going to pull tight. We're going to have to leave a little bit of a gap. Pliers. And squish it. Give a little pull, make sure it's nice and secure, not moving anywhere. And then with some scissors, which this time I have got handy, you're just going to snip. If there's a little bit showing, just pull the bead so it's covered. And there you go. And as I said before, you can always, instead of using two of these, you can always use one as a jump ring, just a metal ring, so that you could snip one into the other, wear it as a necklace, wrap it round like I have for this one, wear it as a bracelet, or as I said before, you can get the little plastic rubber bits that go over the arms of the glasses. You can put those on here instead, and have it to hold your glasses. So you just pull back a bit. There we go. Got this here, and that would just snip onto your mask like so. And there you go. Handy and made of beads, so can't be bad. Hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you would like to see me making in the future, anything you'd like to see me have a go at, please just get in touch. If you're enjoying the videos that I'm making, the painting ones, the crafting ones, then be sure to click on that subscribe button just down below and ring on that bell icon so that you know when new videos are coming out. And yeah, bye.